The year was 1999, a time when talking animal films, mostly about pigs for some odd reason, were beginning to die down. Films like Babe, Gordy, and My Brother the Pig come to mind in particular. However, for Stephen H. Berman, Mitchell Catlin, and Nat Bernstein, a genius idea came about. Why not base a television show around a person becoming a dog? The Shaggy Dog, anyone? No, their idea was a little different, and so they put it on Nickelodeon. The show I am talking about is none other than the long-forgotten... The show is about a teenage bully, Eddie McDowd, played by Jason Dohring as a human, but voiced by Seth Green in Season 1 and Jason Hervey in Seasons 2 and 3. Eddie is turned into a dog by the Drifter, played by Richard Mole from Night Court, and has to do 100 good deeds before becoming a human again. The problem, however, is that the only person that can hear Eddie talk is the last person he bullied. Justin Taylor, played by Brandon Gilberstadt, happens to be that person. Along the way, Eddie also encounters other dogs that he can understand, or that can talk also, because they are in the same situation as him and need 100 deeds. Along the way, Eddie has to deal with Justin's family and friends. His father, Doug Taylor, played by William Francis McGuire, his mother, Lisa, played by Catherine McNeil, his sister Gwen, played by Morgan Kibbe of the band M83 and White Sea fame, friends of the Taylors, foreign exchange student Tori, played by Melanie Murray, Mr. Watts and also Salvatore the dog, played by Joe Piscopo, Sarifa Chung, played by Brenda Song of Disney fame, Spike Cipriano, played by Danny Tamborelli of Adventures of Pete and Pete, All That, and Grand Theft Auto fame. Let's get to the positive aspects of the show. Number 1. The CGI on the dog's eyes and mouths is pretty good for a show that was made when CGI was still relatively new. The lip movements match up with the voices and blend in with the face of the dog that is speaking perfectly. Number 2. The acting is pretty good for a kid's show. While it can be over the top at times, it is never so unbearable that it undermines the show itself. Truth is, I could honestly see people reacting or speaking like this, and in fact, I have. Number 3. The idea of having a kid do 100 good deeds in order to become a human again is a pretty solid and original idea for the time the show was made. Number 4. Rowdy, the dog that plays Eddie. Being a Siberian Husky, Australian Shepherd mix gives it a unique look. The face, the coloring of its fur, its icy blue eyes all add to its personality, and the dog itself is very talented if you've ever watched the show. Number 5. Seth Green, being the voice of Eddie McDowd, was perfect casting. Seth Green captures the essence of a troubled teen in a horrible situation. In fact, I could actually see almost all Husky Shepherd mixes having his voice after watching the show. Number 6. Richard Mole as the Drifter. From the way they made him look and dress, all the way to his death-bringing voice, Richard Mole owned his role as the Drifter. Every time he was on screen, he made sure his acting and line delivery was on spot. Now, let's get to the bad. Number 1. Jason Hervey taking over as Eddie's voice. For seasons 2 and 3, we had to suffer with Hervey's higher-pitched, less menacing voice. While an explanation has never been given, he may have had to take over because Seth Green wanted out due to the declining ratings, was embarrassed in the role itself, or he was working on other projects at the time. Whatever it was, gosh, how we wish he would have stayed. Number 2. The introduction of the character Tori. While the actress isn't bad by all means, she isn't that great either. She's somewhere in the middle. She was introduced when Morgan Kibbe became tired of being on the show after season 1. Boy, how we wish she would have stayed like Seth Green. Number 3. The second biggest issue with this show is that Eddie never seems to apply what he learns after each episode. He keeps reverting back to his bully mindset by the next episode, and the process usually repeats. Eddie messes something up, fixes it, and gets a good deed for it. There was never any character growth for him, which really is disappointing for a show meant to teach a valuable lesson. Number 4. The biggest and most obvious would be Eddie never completed his good deeds. The show was canceled silently in 2002 because of low ratings after he got deed number 40 in the episode known as Lost and Found, and Tori discovered that Eddie could talk. Did Eddie ever become a human again? I guess it is another mystery that we will never find out. Final reviews. For a kids show, it is decent. While it won't provide many laugh-inducing moments, it is pretty lighthearted and helps to somewhat teach kids the difference between right and wrong. The actors and actresses are what keeps the show going, and you truly believe that they are all real-life friends and family. This has been a History of and review of the 100 Deeds for Eddie McDowd. Thanks for watching.